How are you, my great students, and welcome to writing session of today. Uh, we in this lesson we are going to learn how to write a critical review. And before we proceed on, I advise all of you to follow these two rules. One, try as much as you can to keep your hands yourself, and secondly, and make sure that you listen more and talk less. Objectives of our lesson are as follows. By the end of this presentation, you should be able to create sentences capitalizing the first word in the sentence, explain what a book is about, discuss the book's theme or message. A critical review is the summarization and evaluation of the ideas and information in an article. It can be both short, as much as 1 page, and long, 4 pages. Usually have a similar structure. That means if it has 1 page or it's 4 pages, the structure will be the same. Introduction. It is usually 1 paragraph for an article review and 2 or 3 paragraphs for a long book review. So that means if it's just a short piece of writing that you have to write a critical review about, then 1 paragraph is enough. But if it's long, then you can write as much as 2 or 3 paragraphs. Include a few opening sentences that announces the authors and the title, and briefly explain the topic of the text. A summary is another area that you need to focus on when writing a critical review. Now, what is summary? When we're writing a summary, you need to state the key points along with a few number of examples. You can also briefly explain the author's purpose in the text and briefly describe how the text is organized. Now, when we talk of the author's purpose in reading sessions, we learned about how the reasons as to why the author might write a given piece of work, maybe to entertain, to persuade, to inform, or express ideas and feelings. These are kinds of reasons or purpose authors write about. Now, when you talk of briefly describe how the text is organized, in the next slide we are going to see how an author or a writer can organize his work. The summary should only make up about a third of the critical review, so it should not be that long. Try to make it as short as possible. Yes, as I said earlier on, that we are going to look in the next on the next slide how an author can organize his writing or critical review. You can talk about the characters, like you can see in this picture. We have a kid. The kid is reading a book, and then we have an animal, a bull, or you can call it. So these are characters in a story. You give them your preferable names. Animals and people in a story are the characters. The setting is the specific place where this story or the writing, the narration takes place. That means it can be either the place or the time when or where the events occurred. As you continue, you have to sequence your events based on how they happened and in your story. And lastly, you can end up by writing your conclusion, that means giving your opinion about the whole piece of writing. Critic. The argument that you make when you are writing your critical review, try to make sure that it's fair and it evaluates the strengths and weakness that you note in that particular book that you read, or you are trying to write your criticism about it. Noted features of the text should also be included. Now, as you do write, also you can sequence your argument starting with most important to least important conclusion you make about the text. So don't just write straight away your critical review by stating the least important or the disadvantaged side of the book that you are criticizing. Try to mention the important part, or as well. Present the positive points first and the negative last, based on your opinion. Yeah, these are the possible ways that you can sequence your events, starting with what is more important and ending with what is least, and writing the positives if there are more according to your opinion, and or winding up with the least, the negative if they are a list. And you can do vice versa. If the negative are more, okay, you will start with the negative. If the negative are less, no problem, you can as long as you have a kind of sequence. At this time we are now coming to our conclusion, or at the end of our presentation about critical review. Now, what should you do at the end? One, it is usually a very short paragraph. You need just to create a short paragraph about your what you think it was important about the whole writing. Restate your overall opinion of the text. Briefly present recommendations. Yes, you can write some comments that can help their reader or the author of that book, so that he can maybe he can improve it, or he can in the next edition, or he can in the next writing he can write better work than the present. And if you had more of benefit from the book, then you encourage the author to keep on writing more and more of that kind of writing. Remember, it's very important, you should include a list of reference at the end of the review, in case you use other sources in your review. That is mean you are appreciating the creators of those resources that helped you to come up with your piece of critical review. And that's how we go about when writing a review. Now, at this moment, I would like once again to take this opportunity to encourage you to always practice joy as a most important thing in life. As you learned some time back in our presentations we did on assembly, we say that you get better on what you do and what you practice every now and then. So according to me, as students, it's good if you practice joy and get better at being joyful. This is a wonderful virtue that you can have in your life. Thank you very much, all of you, for attending this session, and for those who contributed, those who have discussed along with me, may Allah give you more knowledge. And for those who did not, I also request that you try your best and catch up with the rest. I pray that you will be successfully in the coming classes. Thank you for your time.